Maybe for our listeners, can you give us some key insights into what you learn as a host in the crypto community?
Well, the first thing I would say is just how incredibly early it is in this space. It feels like to me we're in the, if you use the sort of the internet metaphor, like where we are, we're in the early 90s. It's like 1992, 1993. So Real Vision, we have two different sides. We have the capital markets and macro side where we do interviews with hedge fund managers and asset managers and folks who work at banks and those kind of people. And then we have the crypto side. And we had a guest on, a very well-known investor and who's in his 80s now and brilliant guy, has had an amazing career as an investor. And he was on a show with one of my Real Vision colleagues, and she asked him about crypto. And he was like, yeah, I don't buy it. I don't like anything about it, basically. And he was like, look, number one, he's like, I think Bitcoin's going to get hacked. Number two, I think it's become kind of a religion. And number three, it's like, there's no way to price this stuff, and it's interesting because I don't think those are stupid questions, particularly if you're coming to this from the outside, if you don't work in this space day in and day out. Like, I could understand why people would ask those questions, but it just shows you how far away the establishment are, these people who are very successful hedge fund managers or asset managers of some kind. And then you hang out in the space and you talk to the people that you and I talk to, Joe, these young, hip degens in their 20s. And it's like their worldview is just, it's like they're coming from just a completely different place. And so the range of opinions that you see across crypto is so vast because of that. And I would also say the other interesting thing to me about crypto is crypto isn't like just like one thing, right? It's like saying the word like music. And it's like, well, there's punk and there's hip hop and then there's like Mozart and then there's jazz. And it's like, well, what is a music fan like? And it's like, well, if you a punk rocker versus somebody who's hanging out at the Metropolitan Opera House, these are two totally different people. And we see that, I think, in crypto as well. There's obviously a very passionate, vibrant Bitcoin community, which has a very different worldview in many ways than people who are equally passionate about Ethereum. You have people who see the underlying blockchain technology and they're like, this would be pretty cool to trade stocks and bonds and currencies and commodities on, right? And then you have people in the NFT space who are artists and musicians and super passionate about this stuff. And I go to a lot of events, and if you go to like SALT, for example, the strategic asset conference that Anthony Scaramucci puts on, it's all hedge fund managers. It's all guys in blue suits and the masters of the universe. And then you go to an NFT conference, right? It's like there's like 16-year-old kids there, and their mom dropped them off for the day, right? And it's like they're super into art and music and all kinds of like other sort of very cool artsy things. The space is so huge.
The Joe Roberts Show.